Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amora Love, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do a color touch-up on a bleaching tone. We are going to start off using the Wella Cream Blondor Lightener, which is designed for on the scalp. It is a cream bleach, and it is very ideal that you would use a cream bleach for on the scalp color touch-ups versus using a powder bleach. If you use a powder bleach, your client is most likely going to have a more irritated scalp than normal if you were to use a cream bleach that's actually designed for on the scalp lightening. Powder bleach is more so designed for highlights and foils and off the scalp lightening like ombre, but if you're going to be using it on the scalp, it's actually more ideal to use a cream bleach because it is a lot more creamier and oilier, and it's more easygoing on the scalp than a powder bleach. So I'm going to be using the Wella Blondor Lightener, and I'm going to be using it with the 40 volume Koleston Perfect developer. With Princeton, we're going to be starting off at the root at the front of the hairline, and this is because over the years we have noticed that the front of his hairline is a lot more resistant than the nape of his neck. So from that trial and error, we have discovered that it's best to start in the front with this particular client versus at the nape of the neck or along the parting if you're used to doing color retouches. So I'm going to start by applying the color on his roots only, and as much as humanly possible, I'm going to avoid the hair that is already bleached. Now, I'm going to repeat that again for the people in the back. When you're doing a bleach in tone color touch-up, you want to avoid the hair that has already been bleached. You're going to apply the lightener on the roots only and avoid the hair that has already been bleached as much as humanly possible. Now, we're not perfect, and overlap is very possible and it can happen, but if you're keeping it in mind to avoid the hair that's already been bleached, you're going to have a lot easier time, and your client overall is just going to have a lot more healthier hair because you're not overlapping the bleach on hair that's already bleached. So we're just doing that same thing here with the lightener. Avoid the hair that's already been lightened. And I'm going to work at the top of his head, and I'm going to do the crown all the way to the middle of his head. And then after I get there, I'm going to go down to the nape of his neck and start by applying the color down there, avoiding the hair that's already been lightened. And I'm going to work my way up to his temples. This is the same thing that you would do if you were doing a touch-up on a relaxer, is avoiding the hair that's already been relaxed. Now, when I'm applying the bleach, I'm making sure that my sections are very, very thin and see-through. My cosmetology teacher used to always tell us to make sure that your section is basically see-through. Like if you can read a newspaper through your color section, then you're most likely in good hands. And this is going to ensure that you're applying an even amount of bleach through every single strand, and that you're not missing any spots when you could actually see through your thin sections. Now, I would say it would be about 1/8 of an inch or like a couple centimeters, and that's how wide you would want your section. If you can see through it and read through it, that means your section is good enough. Now, some clients have really thin hair and some clients have really thick hair. It's going to be up to you to decipher what is good for your client when it comes to sectioning, how thin or wide the parting should be. As long as you can see through the hair and read a newspaper, your section should be thin enough. And that is the type of sections I'm using with Princeton's hair throughout the entire head for about 30 minutes. Once that color is processed for about 30 minutes, you're going to take your old bowl of lightener and you're going to empty it out. And listen to me when I say this. You're going to empty out your color and you're going to mix up a new batch of the same formula of lightener that you used to do his roots 30 minutes ago. Okay? Now, I do not give a damn if you have leftover bleach in your bowl before you stopped. You need to wipe that out, throw it in the trash, and start with a new batch of lightener. Mix up a new formula the exact same way that you did, which was the cream lightener and the 40 volume developer. Mix up a new batch. It doesn't have to be as much, literally just a little bit for about half a head, and you're good. Once you mix up that new batch of color, and let me tell you this, you're not going to get these results if you're not following these directions, and that's probably the one time I'll ever say that on my channel. You're not going to get these results if you do not follow my instructions, okay? So I do not care if you had leftover bleach, and I do not care if you want to save bleach. You need to dump that in the trash, and you need to mix up a new formula, okay? The same exact thing you did, we're going to mix it up again, and we're going to go back through from the nape of his neck to the front of the hairline, and we're just going to be checking really thin sections from the top, from the bottom of his head all the way to the front hairline. And you're basically going to be reapplying that new formula on anything that looks very yellow, very brassy. Maybe you notice some spots that you missed behind the ear. You're going to basically be doing new sectioning, making sure that you did not miss any spots. Make sure anything is not brassy. Make sure anything is not super yellow. At this point, you should be dealing with a very nice, banana yellow hair color. So if anything's looking sun yellow or yellow like Goldilocks, apply that new formula onto those roots within this 30-minute mark of the lightener still being on his head. Okay, so we're going to do that from the nape of his neck, going through our same sections, if not different sections, to make sure that we didn't miss any spots. And you're going to work to the front of his hairline. Once you finish with that new formula in that new bowl, you're going to set a timer for about 20 to 30 minutes. I like to start off with 20 minutes. Sometimes I'll even do 15 minutes if it's doing real good, depending on the client and their level that they started with compared to the level that they're going to. Okay, so like 15 to 20 to 30 minutes. Just watch it, okay? Bleach is not like hair color where it has a desired set, processing time. Bleach is like a mad truck driving through your hoo-ha, okay? It's just gonna go and go and go. As long as it's wet, the color will get there eventually. So the main thing with bleach to remember is just to watch it. If it's at your desired level, you go ahead and rinse it out. If it's not at your desired level, you can go ahead and give it another 5 to 10 minutes. Now there is a certain level you can go, and if you miss that, then rinse it out. You got to start somewhere. So after you let that new batch of color process on his scalp, we're going to rinse that out and towel dry his hair, and we're going to be left with very, very damp hair. And we're going to mix up our toner. And for toner, you're not done, even though the hair looks good and is still very blonde, and that's what a lot of people go for. Your hair is not complete after you just bleach it. You would want to tone the hair, and that's the full service of bleach and tone when a client is asking for blonde hair, because a lot of times when you just bleach hair, you don't have the tone that you're left with. Some clients will like a very ash blonde, some clients like a very goldy blonde, and some clients like a very mauvey brown or a very neutral blonde. So depending on what tone of blonde your client is going for, you're going to mix up a toner for that client's desired tone. So with Princeton, we're going for a very neutral blonde look. And so for this, I'm going to be using a 12-stroke 07. So we're going to be using a neutral brown, which means basically just a white, not so much ashy, but just a very neutral, light blonde color. Now, I'm going to start at the nape of his neck, at the bottom, and I'm going to work very fast on damp hair all the way to the front hairline. The reason you want to work fast is because the cuticles are open, the hair shaft is busted wide open for a real one, and you done just bleached his hair and now his cuticles are open. And so when you put that toner on already processed hair, that hair is going to grasp onto that toner real fast. So you want to make sure you're moving at a very fast pace. And if you can, in some instances at the shampoo bowl, you would go ahead and just dump that color all over their head and work it through. However, I'm going to be applying in thin sections from the back to the front, and I'm going to be working extremely fast. With Princeton, we are lucky because his hair is very short, so this is going to be a very easy process. We're going to watch the toner, and normally I would say from, anywhere from 4 to 10 to 15, sometimes 20 to 30 minutes. But with Princeton, we like to do 5 to 10 minutes, okay? This just depends on the type of toner you're using. And when I say toner, I mean like a demi-permanent, a semi-permanent hair color after the hair has already been lightened. After we rinse that out, this is literally what we're working with. This beautiful blonde from root to tip with no harsh lines of demarcation. His hair is still very wet, and I'm just going in with some leave-in conditioner. And we are not going to thermal style his hair today. We're not going to flat iron it today. We're just going to spray some leave-in conditioner and some bond connector, which is a heat protectant. But I really like this for split ends, and this is by Clairol, and it's called Thrive, and it's a keratin rescue split ends repair treatment. However, we're going to use it all over his bleached hair, and it smells amazing. And if you have blonde hair or split ends, or you thermal flat iron style your hair, I highly recommend this product. It smells amazing, it's very affordable, and it definitely works. If you guys enjoyed this video, please feel free to let me know your favorite part in the comments below. Let me know if you learned anything. Let me know if you would like to learn anything. I am a licensed cosmetologist, so if you have any hair color questions or any hair questions in general, definitely just let me know, and I will be sure to, upload a video on that. If you want to see anything on my channel, let me know in the comments, because in the comments is where I can talk to you guys and keep up with what you guys would like to see on my channel. So thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next video.